guys, and welcome into MarketAbilities. I went upstairs to get this one, Ben from Reformed Co. I think I found you in Cape Girardeau. You were here mixing music, and I'm like, we got to talk. We got to spill the tea. I tell you, this price cost discussion, right? Mm-hmm. I'm in it squarely with a client that I want so badly because he's just started a new business and it's beautiful and I want it to do so well. And we pitched what I thought was a very reasonable package, right? Mm-hmm. To let more people know about him. Just as I thought, the price is too high. And I had to sit on it. I was just like, man. And then, of course, the whole adage, what you're going to pay today is the price and it's very fair. Or the cost is 6 months down the road when you decided not to invest in your business. Mm-hmm. How do you make them see it?
Yeah. You have to make the offer better.
I did. I said, look, I want this so badly. I said, before I push back is what I said, which that's what they want you to do. Mm-hmm. They think you're just trying to sell them something. I said, before I push back, it was a fraction. I said, I'll come in with my iPhone and take a couple of videos and get them up on social media and show you the difference when you're doing creative content.
Yeah.
People will respond to that.
Yep. The other thing I feel like we ran into with a couple of projects, and I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday as well, is I was telling them, hey, we can do great work for this budget. Mm-hmm. And that we can stick to that budget if that's what you want to stick to.
Right.
But I was like, I hate whenever 6 months down the road, we do the budget-friendly option to start. And then they go and then they feel like they didn't get something as cool as they were hoping for. And then they go and pay somebody more money. And it's like, hey, if you had just not bartered so hard at the beginning,
ridiculous.
Then we could have done that to start and we could have saved you all the hassle. And so I've started telling people, it's like, hey, we can do it as cheap as you want, but you're probably not going to love it.
Right.
My goal is to make something that you're proud of and you're proud of for years.
That's right.
Let's not barter now. Let's invest in it and make something cool. And then you don't have to come back to touch it again for years.
So right.
And so I just had that conversation yesterday with somebody where we were starting on a website and they were kind of tight on the price to start. And then they started sending me all these examples and I was like, hey, if that's what you're looking for, we got to bump up the budget.
Right.
Yep.
And I love that. Show me what you want.
Yep.
And then I'll tell you how many hours I'm going to have in that and what you're going to wind up spending. Right.
So just for clarity, so the situation you had a potential client that was...
Oh, I haven't given up. I'm going to get him.
Okay. Is potentially still interested.
Oh, he's very interested. He wants his business to do well.
Well, so at first you feel like he was really into the idea of working with us and then he changed overnight. What was a big turning point that you saw when you were talking to him where you were like, okay, now I feel like he's kind of pushing away a little bit?
Well, because he admitted he's done it all himself. It's not his primary job. And you know what? Any of us can decide to do this. This is something I had to decide this for myself years ago. Do I want to run growing media by myself? Do I want to produce every video? Do I want to produce everything and go out and I can make $1 million, but I don't think I'd ever see my family. I'd never go to bed. And is that the life I want? Or do I want to invest in 7, 8 of me? And let's make some money. Let's work. Let's have an enjoyable life. And I just don't think he's there yet. I think he's so nervous. He's doing it all himself. He's burning both ends of the candle, and it's not going to work.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people. How old? If you don't mind me asking.
He's an older gentleman. He's smart.
An older gentleman.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what that generation was like. Is like very much like I can shoulder the burden of the entire world. You know what I'm saying? They want to take it over and do it themselves because that's what they were taught. That's what they grew up seeing. Mm-hmm. All it takes is like a new angle. You got to show them a new angle on, hey, like, are you like tired? Are you performing to the same level that you would if you had, people helping you? You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to...
Yeah. You guys have talked about giving stuff away or showing people things. And I can't. We work too hard to give it away.
No, yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But whenever you were selling him, were you selling him all the things that we were going to do for him?
I did originally because, you weren't even on a phone call with him. And, he's doing great things. He's got a lot of people around him. He's got without giving it away. You know, he's got good connections. He's
Yeah.
going to make some money, but we got to let people know he's out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Right. But you focus on all the things that we're going to give him.
I did, but I didn't do what you've gotten on to me in the past. He said, Angie, you're notorious for walking in, just throwing up all over everybody. Like, here's everything we can do. We're going to run the whole world.
We're going to change your life.
Yeah, we're going to do it forever. But no, I backed way off and I broke it down.
For me, what's helped me is I have focused on the payoff. Mm-hmm. Like, if we do this for you, this is what your life or your business will look like after
that's
we're
good.
done.
Okay, maybe
because ultimately that's all they care about. They want to visualize the next version of themselves or the next version of their business.
Well, the other way to do that too is show them competitors, comparables, right?
Yes.
And be like, hey,
much better,
this
I think.
Yeah, this is like an example of something we can do better than this. But here's an
Right.
example,
Right.
and look at how it looks if you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be
good.
compared, but like your customers are going to compare yourselves to the competitor.
Yeah.
Or whatever the perceived comparable is.
Yeah.
If it's,
I'm not going to promise them the world. Look, we're going to do a good job for you. And the beautiful thing that I remind them of, we work for you. We don't work for any TV station. We don't work for any entity. It's you. So I know how important it is to make you money. But those people who promise SEO and they promise the world and they promise this, that's false, guys. There's no way you can promise that. And you really can't make those guarantees. I mean, you're in it with them.
Yep.
And you know that they have to be successful for the relationship to continue. But I don't feel comfortable. Projections are okay, but they've got to be positioned that way.
Well,
Yeah, right.
were you going?
No.
Okay, sorry. Well, so I had a question for Ben, like regarding this, because so you started out, and you still do a lot of like designing websites, redesigning websites.
Sir, get into your microphone, please. Get into your microphone.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little far away. But selling websites, things like that. I've actually seen some people who do a similar thing, and what they do is before they even call or reach out to these businesses, they pre-build a website. You know what I'm saying, for them specifically. And I don't know if you do this, but showing them what could be, like
We
showing
did.
them a literal website, being like, hey man, this is it right here. This is the maintenance per month. This is the flat price for it. Has that been successful? Have you ever done that?
the hard part with that, so that's kind of go on the website design tangent. With AI, there's a lot of kids that go out and they want to be a salesman. And so what they do is they use AI website design.
Right.
And so they can crank a website that looks just like every other website out there in an hour. And so that costs them time is money. It costs them $100 to build that website.
Right.
And then they can go and try and sell it you're selling a $100 website.
Right.
That doesn't really work large scale or for very established businesses. If you have nothing, that's going to be the good place. But what works whenever you're selling custom, robust, actual built websites is showing them a portfolio and being like, hey, look, this is our standard. This is what we can build. Or showing them competitors and be like, hey, this is a similar business with a good website. This would be what we would hold as our standard as building your website. But the hard part too is if they think you were able to whip up a website and already have it done whenever you come in, they're like, all right, well, what am I paying for? You've already done it.
Right.
Like, I'll give you $50. You know what I mean? And so that drives down the value of what you're selling. Because like exactly what you were saying, where it's like we're in your corner. It's really the labor is our job. You know what I mean? The labor is the value of what we do. And if you're willing to pay us $100 a month, we can only give you this much labor.
Right.
And so the effects we're going to be able to give you from that are going to be very minuscule.
Right.
But if you're willing to invest in your business and bring in this full team of web design, of ads, of video production, of social media management, if you're able to invest in all of that, now you have X amount of hours, tons of hours of hour labor, experts in all these different fields that you're getting from it. And so the same way is if you're only willing to invest in a $100 website, you're only going to get $100 payoff from that.
Keep your expectations in line with your investment. You're going to get what you pay for. And you're right. It's when the whole team comes in, there's such a difference because number one, everything's professional. It feels high end. How many times do you guys hear now, I want high end. I want luxurious.
Yeah.
I want to spend $100.
Yeah.
It's $100,000. I mean, you have no idea what people are spending on. And sometimes they get duped.
Yep.
They think they've bought something luxurious and they haven't because it falls flat and it doesn't perform. And that's what I tell you. We've been doing this long enough that we know the website not only has to look good and be flashy and do all those little things you want it to do, but man, it's got to work. It's got to convert and get you customers.
The hard part is nowadays, I feel like there's an excess of salesmen and a lack of executors.
I would like some of those salesmen.
But there's like this new trend on TikTok of salesmen that just go business to business and they're just selling crap work.
Yeah.
And there's not as many executors, and that makes it harder for executors because
yes, it does.
They've heard good pitches from bad people,
that
can't deliver on it, and then
gosh,
where our job is to deliver them great products and
So I guess that's the next phase is what I'm hearing from you guys, and perhaps you guys have heard the same. Maybe there has to be options. Maybe we have to provide we know this option's not going to be the best for you, but if you need to see that we're legit, that we're going to show up, that we're going to put the time in, and we're going to grow with you, let's start here. You're not going to have the return in 3 months that you would have if you'd start here because we've already done our homework. We know what you need to spend to get the kind of results that you want.
Yep.
But let's go at your pace until you're comfortable writing a check.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that there's customers at every level. Mm-hmm. And like you're like you've heard it like the 80-20 rule, right? Mm-hmm. It's like 20% of your customers will be like 80% of your profit, and then vice versa. 80% of your customers will be 20% of your profit. Well, there's like a 4% rule too, where it's like 4% of your customers will be then like 96% of your profit. And so it's just where you focus, right? Mm-hmm. But also having an option for each of those people because you'd be happy to work with each of them, but not all of them are going to meet you at that level.
Yeah.
Right. What is it they say? And this is, we've all heard this. Let's go for the low hanging fruit. Let's go for those that are just right there in front of us. Let's go for those. But how about we also go for the household income that you've wanted to target, the exact customer that you want? Let's go for them. Get your low-hanging fruit. That's your 4% or 94%. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But invest in your business because if you have not, look, a big part of opening your brick and mortar, your e-commerce, whatever it is, have a marketing budget established. Don't make it just grueling for your team at the start to get you open and to get you up and running because you can take the wind out of their sails real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And similar to that is just if you have to start and you have to start doing it yourself at the beginning to get some stuff bankrolling, you can. And you can do that and that's going to get you to a certain point. But just know that we're here whenever you're feeling like you're a little lost. We had a great example. We built a website for somebody recently, an e-commerce website. And he didn't have the money to invest in ads right off the bat. And so he was like, I'm just gonna throw some stuff up. I told him, I was like, hey, do that for a couple of weeks. And then I'll come in just for 20 minutes and look at it. And I'll tell you some feedback on what you should tweak.
Nice.
Then at that point, so we're not giving away the world, you know what I mean? But it's enough to where we can show him some expertise. We've worked with him in the past on different projects. But he had done good enough that he was able to bankroll to where when we came in and gave him all these suggestions, he was lost on where to had to do any of it. He was like, all right, that's over my head.
As well he should be.
Yeah.
That's not his business,
and since then, we've been able to scale. We've already doubled his ad spend and his daily revenue
Way to go, business
is up.
owner.
Wow. But,
do you want to call my prospect?
Yeah. It's one of those things where you can start slow.
Yeah.
We're not going to say we're only going to work with the big guys just because they got the deepest wallets.
Sure.
We love to help people from the ground up.
Yeah.
The thing is just, you have to be willing to reinvest that profit. We're going to make a return. You know what I mean? We can show month over month.
Yeah. And I guess, we can end with this. Another very popular term is let's scale the business. Okay. Scaling the business means you got to scale too. You can't just expect us to scale your business without scaling the business. Mm-hmm. And that means investing and understanding when you do make that profit, you got to put some of it back in your business. You can't just go, oh man, that was a great month. I'm going to pocket that. No, you're not. You are not established yet. And we are nowhere where we need to be, you know?
Yeah.
Nowhere near where we need to be. So guys, those are just some things to think about. They're real life stories. And we are here to help. MarketAbilities podcast produced by Growing Media with the help of Reformed Co. and Produce Perform right upstairs and across the street. And all. Look, we have such a presence. And what do you think in Cape Girardeau? Shout out to Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Yeah, that's my city. If you come out there, check in with me. So that's
Growing Media Cape. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.